Hello?
Yeah, we're good.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, hi, this is Brandon from MultiversityComics.com. I'm here with Brian Michael Bendis, prolific creator for Marvel. So, you know, how does it feel to be the top dog of Marvel, #1? Let's get that going.
There's no top dogging. Everyone has moments of happiness and complete defeat and whatever. So, no, this has been a really amazing convention. Really amazing.
Yeah.
So I really just feel like I want to go back to the hotel and write something amazing to help, like, feed the guilt of whatever it is that I feel about when everyone being so nice to me. It's been like 2 amazing days.
A Comic-Con summer event?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just you feel like, you know what, you're meeting everyone, they're so receptive, and you just go, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go home and write something awesome, you know.
Awesome.
So
speaking of writing something awesome, Ultimate Spider-Man is something you've done for such a long time now, and I think you can't argue the fact that the level of quality has maintained consistently. How do you
well, you could argue it, sure, but
you
no,
could, but you'd fail.
Listen, no, you know what? It's the best job in the world. I've had some amazing jobs. It's the best job in the world. So I take it very seriously that it's got to be a book that I would buy. You know, I look at it like you kind of look at The Simpsons, that, you know, the characters don't age, but that doesn't mean interesting things can happen, and I try to apply that to it, you know. And I don't know, the wounds of my high school years are quite fresh. It's amazing how easy it is to pick the scab. Just comes right off, and there you go.
So I guess on that note, then, on the Ultimate Spider-Man Peter Parker, how much of that is your high school years then?
Well, listen, there's nothing about that's my high school years. Nothing. There was we only had 1 Green Goblin attack at my high school, so
that's pretty lucky.
Yeah. No, nothing about it. You know, there's vague resemblances to my high school relationship to Peter and Mary Jane. There's just a tone of high school and just that the feelings you have, just that you think you know everything but you don't, and you do something embarrassing and it haunts you for the whole life. You know what I mean? Just that. Oh, that's gonna be the thing that I'll never forget, because, you know. So, you know, it's just to get that across. You know, the closest really is Aunt May is like my mom. Like, that's the voice of my mother. But again, you know, when I came out to her as a superhero, she had a completely different reaction. So really, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So
there's a lot of not knowing what we're talking about going on in our stuff, so you'll fit in perfectly fine. Again, on Ultimate Spider-Man, so were you a fan of Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man's Amazing Friends? Because it feels like there's a very Spider-Man's Amazing Friends vibe going on there.
Well, you know, it's really that I get fans of these concepts. These concepts blow my mind. When I was a kid, Spider-Man's Amazing Friends blew my mind. There were some episodes that were really well animated. They're really, really great. But there's also some dumb shit in there. You know, can I swear in this?
Absolutely.
All right, there's some dumb fucking shit in there. So it's the same thing with the Clone Saga. I mean, we all like the idea of the Clone Saga, but something went awry, so I examined, like, well, what about it was that did we like? Let's do that. Let's focus on that. And yeah, with Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, I think we all like that Peter has friends, that there's camaraderie. So yeah, there's something, I don't know, just the idea of having this halfway house of teenage superheroes I like that, and I like the idea of somewhat Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, but at the same time, it's a completely new Spider-Man story. These are Spider-Man stories you've never seen before.
Absolutely.
So there's inklings of little bits of stuff that you've seen, but overall, no, this is a brand new story. So I get excited about.
Okay, and speaking of things we haven't necessarily seen, but yet still staying on the Spider-Man topic, what is the possibility? I know there's a lot of people who would love to see it, of you going into the 616 Spider-Man, if you will.
Well, yeah, I get to write them every month. I've been writing them, you know, since New Avengers started. So I do feel I get to poke at the toy every once in a while, you know. But it's just, you know, and I know that there was even talk of me being part of the Spider-Man group and all that, and I was like, you know, I do have the best Spider-Man job. I mean, you know, like, to me, there's no difference really. I know there is to people who are continuity centric, and to me, I'm writing Spider-Man. There's the only difference between Ultimate Spider-Man. Spider-Man to me is one's older, you know, and has a different set of life experience. But I feel like I'm writing Spider-Man, so why leave the book where I can do anything I want?
Yeah.
Anything I want, and then do the book where you have to share with the asshole who writes the Avengers and starts to do something.
And the Secret Avengers were going to be Disney characters, correct?
It's Darkwing Duck,
Sleeping
Tron, Pete the Dragon is one. I'm forgetting the other two.
Quasimodo's the one I think everybody thinks is the cloaked figure.
No, it's Nicolas Cage from National Treasure.
Oh shit! I was way off base.
Yeah, and the girl from Enchanted. I think that's the group, right? I think that's it.
You're here to hear first. Multiversity Comics exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
So
tweet that. Tweet that.
It's blowing up.
Right.
We've destroyed the internet again. So now we're coming out of the heroic age very soon here, and I know you can't say much about it. Well, you're coming into it. Yeah. Sorry.
Full
and there's been word that titles are going to start to get a little more insular, a little less, giant events or whatever. Is that age done, or will we see that again soon?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm not of the group that is event fatigued. You
I'm
know
not
what I mean?
either.
And no one worked harder on them than I did. I guess people get fatigued more of the marketing than they do of the story. I think that's really what the fatigue comes from. I can't imagine a comic book fan, a particularly superhero comic book fan, that doesn't get really psyched up about buying a comic book where you know some shit's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Something's gonna happen.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend money and something's gonna blow up.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be change. And that, particularly for Marvel, that change will affect. That will not be a short change. It will be a long-term change. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. So for me, particularly, that mandate won't change on the Avengers.
Excellent.
I think the Avengers, beyond the fact that we've had some of the best artists that work in comics on the book, I think the thing that has helped the book achieve the long-term success is that almost every issue, something really happened, and that affected the Marvel Universe, and that will continue.
Excellent.
Now, I think the difference is, when I first came to Marvel, when we were doing the Ultimate line started, me and Mark had this philosophy, really, that every storyline was an event, kind of thing. Like, every storyline was this big blockbuster, not blockbuster in like Armageddon kind of blockbuster, but blockbuster in that really something's going to happen to Peter Parker, something's going to happen to Captain America. And though I've been doing that all the way through our New Avengers, I think both Avengers titles, these storylines that are set for the next couple of years, like really a lot happens. And I think that's, we're going to just go to that, and the only thing you got to buy is that book for that story. And that'll be great, and people will be happy. But I'm just, so much amazing comic book art and cool stuff happened in those events. I'm not gonna dog in on the internet cool thing of I got event fatigue. Really, seriously?
Yeah, and and the funniest part about
I think that may be a pre-existing condition if a comic book fatigued you, Yeah. But and I'm also not going to promise that everything's going to stay. Like, people are like, keep everything the same, don't change. I'm like, no, it's not what I do, man. I don't think it's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not good drama. Stuff's going to happen.
Yep.
Some of it you'll like, some of it you'll hate, but something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
And in a time where everybody bitches about continuity, you'd think everybody would love something like this, but fans willing to complain about everything.
No, you know what? I don't. But that's fun. That's part of the game, so I don't mind it. As long as it isn't like personal, I don't mind it. But you buy the comic, you can say whatever you want. If you illegally download it, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But if you buy it, you bought a ticket, you can say whatever is on your mind. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's what Captain America died for.
But then he came back for it too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, he came back for the clam chowder. I don't know if that's the poster.
And wheat cakes?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, the wheat cakes. Uncle Ben wheat cake.